Good evening, everyone. It's been a long time. I've been doing these open calls, and I'm happy to see that you people have joined in for today's open call discussion. And without taking much of your time, let's start with today's topic. Today's topic is very, very important and crucial, especially for all the parents, single parents, because every time we go through this kind of guilt of being a parent, we have so many thoughts, emotions, and feelings that we go through as a parent. We have so many guilt about so many things, being a parent or a single parent. So, before I share my own experience and my own thoughts on this, I would like you guys to pitch in and share your experiences. Those instances, can you recall some of those instances wherein you felt very, very guilty about being a parent? And what was the reason for you feeling that guilt? So, who would like to go first? Anyone who would like to go first and share their experiences? Seema, Shruti. Hi, Shruti. Welcome to this call. Yeah, Divya, go ahead.
Hey, hi Vanshika. Yeah, I have invited Shruti because I know her personally. Yeah. Um, am I audible?
Yeah, yeah, go ahead, Divya. You are clear, loud and
Yeah.
clear. Yeah, we
So,
can hear you.
I don't have a guilt being a parent, of course. In fact, I find myself really very fortunate uh, to be a parent and yeah, to be able to make a family with my child. But uh, sometimes I feel guilty of not giving him enough of what he actually deserves. Yeah. And once that thought strikes me, monetarily, time wise, emotionally, and the environment, the kid, because I grew up in a joint family. So I understand the strong personality that I have. I give credit to my grandmother. I give credit to my uncles. So I sometimes feel guilty as a single parent because I'm not able to give him that environment. Yeah. I've never felt guilty as such of of being a parent. I hope I got the question right.
Yeah, Divya. But I think I feel that you are contradicting your own statements. You are saying that you don't feel guilty as a parent, but the guilt, the kind of thoughts you have, is related with a parent thing only, right? Being able to provide your child with all the facilities, and you are saying that you are not able to provide him with that kind of environment. So, isn't it that as parents, we all feel that way, especially as a single parent?
Yeah, so when I was living in with my husband, of course, we had the most favorable life for him, you know. But as a single parent, yeah, I feel that he deserves better. So that guilt I have. Yes.
Okay, so I would like to know your background, as in, since when are you living as a single parent, and what led you to become a single parent? What were those reasons?
Um, so Vanshika, I mean this March, in fact today, 10th March, it is 6 years from the day I moved out from my husband. Me and my child, we were not in India that time, and I just spoke to him that things are not going well personally, and he was okay with it. Um, yeah, a lot of things. I don't know if I should go in tiny bits, but yeah, he went out of marriage. Yeah, he was not ready to take responsibilities. He was not contributing financially. He used to turn his phone off for days and days and just abscond, uh, and then come back saying that he wanted to live like a free spirit. And of course, I loved him a lot. And then I said, okay, if my presence in your life is suffocating you, I don't want to be present. It's okay, me and my son, we see you very suffocated with us. You're not ready for responsibilities. And very peacefully, I walked out. He really respects me for that reason now. So, and he is able to live his life. He's undergoing counseling and everything, but we both are different personalities. Yeah, I'm a very homely person and I like to take responsibilities and very action oriented versus he's a little laid off and he enjoys uh, life of freedom. Yeah. So we recognized this difference in personalities and then we decided that we shall part our ways. Mhm.
Okay, so is it like legally हो गया है?
No, no, no. The case is still on. So initially it was fine, but I mean, we were fine. He was contributing in small bit ways, whatever he could. But last 4 years, he just stopped completely. He's gone into the manipulative mode and all, and then he has put a court case for divorce. And it just all came as a surprise. I said he could have discussed with me, rather than just putting a divorce case and for allegations and all of that. I said, where does the allegations come from? I said, तो कुछ हुआ नहीं था. So he said, no, if I have to get divorced from you, I'll have to go this way. I said, okay, let's sit and mutually discuss. He said, I know what I have to offer you. You are not going to accept it mutually, so I have to take this way. So then I understood. In fact, it makes me proud that, I got off his way because जिस डायरेक्शन में उनका दिमाग जा रहा है, so अभी फिलहाल लीगली नहीं हुआ है. I am asking for one time settlement. He is asking for monthly contribution until my child turns 18. So that's the only point where we are. But there is no in kind of this thing in the marriage. I mean, he comes, he visits the child whenever he is in India. Whenever he was in India, he came and visited. Both father and child share good bonds. Yeah.
Okay, so do you guys still have that kind of a bond? Does the father visit? अभी भी वो आते हैं visit करने? Yeah, like it's
Whenever
completely stopped.
No, no, no. Whenever he was in Pune, he used to visit us often, and my son, used to visit him. He didn't enjoy me visiting his house because he feels that he has created his own comfort space and all of that, and I totally respect him, you know. So he would want me to drop my son at the door and go. But whenever he comes, I don't have that attitude. I said, of course, you can come and you can stay with us if you want. You can spend time with Aditya how much ever you want. But whenever he comes to India, yes, he comes and drops him, but he doesn't come and stay with us. Uh, but my son goes and visits him, yes. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. But my lawyer says that don't do this. You ask him to take court orders and all of that. But somehow I don't want wish to get into all of that because already वो guilt खा रहा है ना वंशिका की. Already I'm not able to give him enough of space, and then if I take away this love of his father also from him, it's not right from my side.
Absolutely, Divya. I can feel what you are saying. And you having this kind of a setup wherein you are providing that kind of love, that kind of support to your child. You both parents have a good understanding. That's what I can sense from what you are saying. And
No, 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 no. I want to stop you. I'm sorry to speak in between. We
no,
do
no,
not have
that's
any.
okay.
Yeah, yeah. So no, no, no. He isn't contributing at all financially or anything. उनमें वो ego आ गया कि जब तक तू divorce नहीं देगी, I'll not. I said no. This is a force. You're forcing me to. forcing me for divorce. अगर वो mutually बैठ के settle हो रहा है ठीक है, but all of this is between us. जो भी है, it should not harm the child, you know. So yeah, understanding is for the child, but not between us. Yeah, so sometimes that causes frustration because I have to split. You know what I'm saying, Vanshika? I have to split my mood. Mm, I have to really control myself and be around and just be at peace how much ever possible. Yeah, yeah. Because
Yeah, yeah.
around my family and my relatives and my best well-wishers, they always say that this is not justified to you, to your life. He shouldn't be coming close to you in your radius at all. And why are you open? And so on 16th is my son's birthday, and he's coming on 15th to India, and he'll be here on his birthday, cutting cake together and everything, and then he'll go. And whenever he comes, a lot of expensive gifts. Yeah, this time I think he's getting an iPad and all of that, you know. So he'll just shower in love in terms of gifts and all. But it's okay. पहले मुझे irritate होता था, but now I'm at ease. But that's the thing. मतलब material से क्या करना है, you know. I am again getting back to the point I'm guilty about that मैं अपने बच्चे को वो ग्रैंड पेरेंट्स का प्रेजेंस नहीं दे पाई, सिबलिंग्स नहीं दे पाई, and there's an ecosystem. Yeah, ecosystem is the word. Yeah, yeah. वो उस चीज का गिल्ट है वंशिका. बाकी वैल्यूज का कोई गिल्ट नहीं है. I'm open. I really, I'm trying to give him the best values as I can. I'm trying to be as patient and as strong as I can. But I could have offered him a better family ecosystem. That's what I feel. Yeah.
Okay. Seema, you have raised your hand. Go ahead. You want to say something?
Yeah, good evening, everyone. Thank you, Vanshika, for giving me a chance to talk. And I've been hearing Divya, right? Divya was talking, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, yes.
Yeah, yeah. So, Divya, um, hearing you, I could see few parts of me because I'm also a single parent, and my separation started just before COVID. You can say 2 3 days before COVID. So in COVID, it was just me and my son, and it was really tough because I was not prepared for it. कि करना क्या है अब, because okay, there were a lot of fights between me and my husband, and there were a lot of things that were not working, and I knew that iske aage journey will be alone only because before that also in the marriage I was all by myself raising my son all alone only. He used to be mostly traveling. Only support you could say is the financial support used to be there, but there was no other things, and he has a huge family where we have two sister-in-laws and they have the kids. So you can say there was a huge ecosystem, and as far as my family is concerned, there was a huge ecosystem. So, but when we were like in the COVID days, nobody, ek to COVID tha, to nobody came. So first thing that I started being guilty was like, this person has walked off. Now, what I'm going to do? Like, it's not that I was not confident enough that I can raise a child, but saying and doing are the two different things for me. So suddenly the pressure came, and in the COVID, where you have to keep the kids mentally stable. So initially in the beginning, it was very difficult. A lot of frustration used to happen, and it was like it's not going to work. There were days when I felt that either I'm going to run away from this place or I'm going to jump off the balcony, because it was so frustrating, and it was like who to talk that what is happening inside me. You have to be stable outside because your son is what looking at you, and you have to be mentally peaceful. So after few days, I discovered some meditations and all to keep myself calm and composed during those days. But I think what really helped me was this being true to my son as I am with all my emotions, even all over the place, where people actually will give gyan to single parents के नहीं नहीं वो दो जो बच्चे हैं तुम्हें देख रहे हैं, you cannot cry in front of them, you should not do this, you should not do that. But as a single parent, I feel the moment you be true to them, it supports, you become a family. Whether the kid is of whatever age, they do understand. Maybe they are not able to express like us, but they do understand what is happening in the environment. And when you are open about your emotions with them, suddenly that chaotic thing is in your mind, that saying that, or you can say the guilt just goes away, because you can see that confirmation from your kids, that they love you as you are. You don't have to put up a face in front of them, pretend to be something else, and telling them, or maybe teaching them to suppress their emotions and put a face that everything is all right and it's going to be fine. No, from that day till date, I think my son is my best friend. We are able to talk everything. We don't hide anything, even if it's the most difficult emotions. We do talk. And in my divorce case, it's exactly the same situation as Divya's. It's gone to the mutual consent thing, but then again, the ego, I would say that before that also, it was more of clashing with ego. So when my husband used to stay with us for a long time, whenever we had a birthday celebrations, he was not there. He used to just provide the finances and he never wanted to be there. So then I started realizing, either I give in to the ego, I keep massaging his ego, and I keep telling my ego also कि अब इसने ऐसे करा है, अब I didn't wanted to waste that. And I thought to myself that I wasted my long years with this person, telling him to, be nice around the kid also, but he's not going to change. So I don't want to tell my ego also कि नहीं, अब हमारी बारी है, ऐसे कैसे ये वो. And many friends telling, how can you let him go like this, you should be doing. What I realized is I need to be calm and composed, क्योंकि अब बचा क्या है प्रेजेंटली में, मैं और मेरा बेटा. और उनको सरवाइव करने के लिए लोग नहीं चाहिए, उसको सरवाइव करने के लिए उसकी मदर चाहिए. एंड द मदर हैज टू बी काम एंड कंपोज with whatever emotions I am going through, which does not mean that I will be lashing out, having outbursts, shouting at him, which means that I'll be what I am. Even if I'm not having a good day, I can politely tell my son that, listen, today I'm not in that space. Maybe, you can keep a low key, but hiding and I think pretending doesn't help in the long run. Also, in the divorce case, what I have seen in my experiences, it goes to the ego levels, and that is why I think for several years the court cases are on, because none of the person is trying to understand that it's not going to get you anything. See, if the person's capacity for earning is XYZ amount, and you're asking for XYZ amount, first see that the person is there in that capacity that he can give you that, or is it okay? Because yes, monthly is a big risk, but I think when you take a divorce, itself is a big risk, because you're choosing yourself and your son or your kids upon the egoistic and whatever was not working. So I think one can always work on that. Initially, the journey will be very difficult, because yes, finances are required to raise a child, but one should have this uh, confidence in yourself that maybe it will be bad, but it will be very peaceful also. So maybe when I'm wasting my energy in the court cases and in the lawyer's amount, that's what I have thought for myself, is that I want to put that energy in making myself and earning the same amount I'm expecting from him, because whatever XYZ amount you will get from the person, if the businessman, even then, that amount is not going to be lasting forever. And the kind of expenses are nowadays to raise a child is very difficult. But if you're even going to fight out for your kids' right, yes, you should fight it out. But genuinely, we forget in the court cases is actually the two people's egos coming. Very less people think that it has to end now and I have to utilize my this time than wasting in the court cases, because चाहे सर हाथ या नाक यहाँ से पकड़ो या वहां से पकड़ो, कोर्ट केसेस में जनरली everybody tells you that 7 से 8 साल लगेंगे, which is true. And then the money will go, your energy will go, and you'll be frustrated because it's not easy to run around the court cases. I'm not saying you don't do it, I'm saying do it, but be little practical also. जहां लगता है कि थोड़ा सा, you can like let your ego not think and you think from the heart and mind both, in balance will help you. At least it is helping me in my journey. So I just wanted to share my perspective. Is nothing to do with that you have to follow the same. I just wanted to share because hearing Divya, I could recall everything I have also gone through. So this has helped me in my journey. So I thought I'll share it with everybody. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Seema, for sharing. And Divya, we have known Seema for a very long time, and Anamika and Akarma have, like, personally they have hand-holding her, and she has got all the clarity calls with her, with Akarma and Anamika, and so she has worked upon herself. So I feel for you, सबसे पहले चीज आपको बहुत जरूरी है खुद के लिए एक हीलिंग, आप हीलिंग करना खुद के लिए, इट्स वेरी वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट, बिकॉज समवेयर आई फील कि you have not healed yourself. Have you considered going to a therapist or a counselor or talking to somebody for that matter for yourself? Because somewhere आपने खुद ही ये reasons दिए थे कि your personality is different and your husband's personality is different, and even if now you think of going back, what would have happened? डू यू थिंक कि आप दोनों मिलके आपके बच्चे को एक अच्छा हेल्दी एनवायरनमेंट दे पाते? कंसिडर, ट्राई टू कंटेम्पलेट ऑन दीज पॉइंट्स.
No, but where are we talking about me going back to him, first of all, Vanshika? And second
नो नो,
question to
आई एम
you
नॉट.
is,
या या,
yeah,
गो
yeah,
हेड.
second question to you is we are talking about the guilt, right? I don't know why if we should stick around that. So how is that leading to healing? Because I said I have the guilt of not providing him the environment that I had as a child. So I wanted to understand you from you how is it related to healing?
Because somewhere, see, we all have been raised up in different kinds of family environment. So for me it was not a joint family, for you it was a joint family, and so because we have been raised in certain kind of family environment, we have certain kind of conditioning, we have certain kind of beliefs. Somewhere ये बिलीफ होता है हम लोगों का कि वी शुड प्रोवाइड दैट पिक्चर परफेक्ट फैमिली जहाँ पे ग्रैंड पेरेंट्स है, सब लोग हैं, सिबलिंग्स हैं. तो does family only mean having that kind of a setup? That's what I want to ask you.
So of course I do tell him that there are different family systems. You know, they can be. Of course, I'm telling him that superficially that there are different family systems. Some families have grandparents, some don't. I give him examples of people around, but so it is not about that. But the environment I'm talking about, I could have provided him a better environment when we are sticking to the topic. Hmm. And the question you asked, where
Divya, I'll share my own story with you. So it's kind of funny. हाँ, so when I got married and I thought कि अच्छा अगर बच्चे हो जाएंगे, so मुझे उल्टी टेंशन होती थी, right? कि अगर बच्चे हो जाएंगे तो God, I'll have to leave my kids with either my mom or with my ex-husband's parents. एंड मुझे इस बात की टेंशन होती थी कि इफ आई एम बिजी, आई एम वर्किंग, तो पता नहीं ये लोग इसको क्या सिखाएंगे. एंड एंड आई एम टेलिंग यू कि जैसे कि जब मैं छोटी थी तो आई लिव्ड इन अ न्यूक्लियर फैमिली विद माय मॉम एंड डैड. फिर उसके बाद द फैमिली आई वाज इन, so that was kind of pretty dysfunctional in nature, and that's okay, that's different, different ways in which families operate. And then that kind of fear I had in my mind कि अगर मेरे बच्चे होंगे तो पता नहीं, I mean पता नहीं ये लोग इसको क्या सिखाने वाले हैं. So yeah, I get it, the environment that you're talking about, but one question that comes to my mind is कि बहुत बार ये जो guilt होता है, right? जैसे कि आप बोल रहे हैं कि about providing him with the right environment. So ये guilt कई बार इस चीज के लिए नहीं होता because you are doing any less of a job. ये इसलिए होता है because of whatever societal belief systems we have, whatever we have learned and developed over a period of time. पहली चीज, एंड यूजुअली उन चीजों के लिए होता है जिनके ऊपर हमारा कोई कंट्रोल ही नहीं है, राइट. सो द फर्स्ट स्टेप इज टू ब्रिंग अवेयरनेस कि you are a human being, right? You are not okay, we all are super women, we all do a lot of things in our days, but still you are a human being. You have 24 hours, you have a limited amount of energy, and you have so much on your plate. You have your job, you have your kid, you have your own things going on, right? And we start having a lot of unrealistic expectations from ourselves about things which are not even there in our control, right? So it's mostly if we see the kind of guilt people go through as a single parent, they are about things which they can actually do nothing about. So they're kind of lying in the bar of hypotheticals. So it's really important that it's the first step is to bring awareness ki what are the things that I'm guilty about, plus do I even have the capacity to do anything about it, right? Because if you don't have the capacity or control over any of those things, right? So I don't know how much time it would take for a person to let go of those guilt or anything, and I'm not prescribing a timeline or anything, but simply bringing awareness that what is it am I guilty about, and इस पे मेरा कोई control है क्या? If control है, then you take action in that direction. अगर control नहीं है, then you ask yourself a question that for how long am I going to put my energy into this, rather than using the same energy to create something else, like do something about it, right? So that awareness is, I guess, the first important thing, I guess, we need to think about.
So, Monica, yeah, you actually made me think, and you're right. These expectations are hypothetical, and possibly, if I can put in one word, this is the dream I had. I dreamt of a ecosystem or a family like this, and it did not happen. So वो guilt रह गया है. And then, so right, you've mentioned that I would rather source my energy from there to create a joyful environment at home. Not that it is not, but yeah, possibly um, balance it in the other way. Yeah.
Yeah.
So good
I
to,
just wanted to add one thing as I was listening to this. Am I audible?
yeah, Karma. Yeah.
So, Divya was talking, right? Divya, um, just for you to think about, I'm not saying anything, not for discussion so much, but just when the word guilt comes in our mind, that whenever we are suffering from any kind of guilt, then perhaps look into that. Is the source of that guilt is some kind of grief? The guilt is usually associated quite tightly well integrated with grief. And as you are explaining, this is why I jumped in, that it was my dream that I wanted this to happen. So losing something, grief is not just about losing a person, but losing something, a dream or something which we always wanted, also triggers grief. So just something for you to think about, that is this guilt coming from you losing that dream of
Yeah, of course, that's what I mentioned. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And that's why Divya, like that is why I was talking about healing and beliefs. But Anamika and Akarma put it well, and I'm happy that you understood what actually is going on within you. So, like Anamika and Akarma said, you can do two things, like list down things that you're feeling guilty for, and also another thing we need to observe is and understand is that are these situations in our control or not, and if a situation is in your control, so what can you do about that situation? Are there healthy solutions that you can bring about to control that situation? And another thing is, yes, Akarma very beautifully said that guilt is very much related to grief, because we talk about grieving all the time. It's not that when we lose a person only then we are grieving, but losing our own dreams, losing our wishes, it's also a very big thing for us as humans. So yeah, you need to work upon that as well, and we are all there for you whenever you need any kind of support. We have a very beautiful e-learning journey called as Healing Grief. You can start from there as well. So you can go
Yeah.
through that, and you can get a clarity call with us if you want. If you want that you are not able to do this e-learning journey on your own, you want a hand holding, then definitely you can uh, have a clarity call with us. I hope you are clear and you got your questions, you got your answers.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you, Vanshika, Namika, and Akarma. Yeah. Mhm.
Most welcome. Seema, you wanted to say something?
Yeah, just wanted to actually ask Divya one question if she's okay to, like, if I ask.
Yes. Please.
So, Divya, when you say that you feel guilty about having a ecosystem, just wanted to understand, are you talking about just you and your kid and your husband, or you're talking about having an ecosystem other than that, means the extended family members?
No, no, I mean, we are in, of course, good terms with extended family members, but as I mentioned, my dream of having,
No. A good,
uh,
yeah, happy.
family and a sibling, and, a lot of times, when you're single parents and you have single child, yeah, at least
Yeah,
if when you're single parent and you have two kids, they are busy amongst each other, but when
yeah,
you're a single parent and you have a single child, I don't want to differentiate between the gender, male or female, but not at all an intention of that. But
yeah,
I think young male child is very thoughtful and they think really very deep about it. I feel that they're very emotional. Possibly my child is like that. So it hits him, when he sees other families, or he always comes back and questions. Uh,
yeah,
you
yeah, getting you,
know,
being there and still there. Yeah, definitely. When kids come up, see, because even they have a dream of happy family. For them, it
Mhm.
is like both the parents. So when that breaks, it breaks them. Maybe we are able to express it, but they are not. But what helps the most at that time is to be open and vulnerable in front of them. That has helped me. So you are allowing the kid also to be vulnerable at the same time. There will be a beautiful connect, and uh,
yeah,
because somewhere that kid is also grieving, and scientifically it's been proved that it's not only that people go through a traumas or big losses just when the person you lose a person, but through divorces and through your relationship lost and breakups, you go equally the same amount of grief. So yeah, this is a good thing they've suggested you, Karma, Namika, and Vanchika. Also, as a parent, when you start to focus on yourself, when it is about healing yourself, you become little more calm and composed, and you're able to think better. Because when you're in the chaotic mindset, and definitely because the single parenting is going to be till he's 18 and above, right? And till he's on his own. So it's not going to be like a 1 day journey. It's going to be more than 365 days. So uh, what why healing? Because it helps you to be calm and composed and sorted in yourself, at least aware. Be aware what is happening to me, and I'm grieving because my dream of having a happy married life has got broken, and I'm shattered and I'm not able to express because nobody is able to understand that what is happening to me inside. And most of the people in this time are coming and giving me advices. Maybe I'm not in that space altogether. I'm irritated, I'm angry, I'm not able to express anything. So, when you heal yourself, you go through all these emotions, you're able to see them, look at them, and not like suppress them or pass through. But it will help you to understand each one of them and then realize that, oh, okay, this is good. Because then, to start with a beautiful ecosystem as a single parent, if you are healed, you'll be able to raise a better child because you will be definitely knowing the things. which maybe at some point of time, I don't know about your parents, I belong to a dysfunctional family, so I will not be doing that. And I know where all that guilt and whatever was coming in me was coming out of many uh, belief systems and conditioning that I have gone through in my life. And today, till date, it's a struggle sometimes, but the answers come better because now I don't feel ashamed. I've accepted my reality that I'm a single parent, and I have not done any crime about in being a single parent. I mean, it didn't work out, and fine. For a very long time, it took at least an year's time for me to accept myself, my reality of that. Yes, I'm going to get divorced, because I was just like running from one place to the another, and running from situations, people, everybody is saying something or the other, but inside, not, I was not looking at myself, just working, working, working. And one day I just stopped and I realized it's not working for me like this, what I'm doing. Then I realized, unless I accept myself and my reality, that this is going to be like this, I'm not going to handle it. So if I'm going to
Yeah, must
accept
have
myself,
been yeah, must have been really tough for you when you have people, involving in your personal matters. In my case, Seema, that was never a thing. Yeah, because everyone knew अगर दिव्या ने कुछ decision लिया है तो मतलब बहुत सही लिया होगा. I have
अच्छा,
that place, so but आपके लिए बहुत मुश्किल हुआ रहेगा. Yeah, yeah, I can understand.
या
Hmm.
सो बट दिव्या, मैंने वेदांत के लिए, अपने सन के लिए एक एनवायरनमेंट बनाया घर में. इट टुक एन एफर्ट फॉर मी. व्हाई? बिकॉज यस, मे बी माई एक्सटेंडेड फैमिली वॉज नॉट देयर, बट बिलीव मी, अगर आप करने पे आते हो, तो आप हस्बैंड वाइफ जब होते हो तब डबल होता है. You have a helping and you can share it. But what I'm seeing from where I see the society nowadays, most of the women are doing single-handedly, even if they are married, right? Which is not justifying that the husband should do that. What I'm trying to say ki, so when I thought ki, okay, one partner is removed, now everything is on my shoulders. It has to be, I used to be so guilty for not being there in certain times. But then I started realizing I'm not superhuman being. कुछ ना कुछ छूटेगा, हर समय गिल्ट भी आएगा, लेकिन what all I can do. So I started creating a priority list for me and my son कि डे के हिसाब से, one day baby step, and this all has happened after my healing. It has not happened before that. Before that, I've just taken the advice, वो थोड़ा सा सर्वाइवल मोड पे जाके, एक हफ्ता, 2 हफ्ता, महीना स्ट्रेच करके 6 महीना, ऐसे करके आई हैव सर्वाइव्ड. बट देन आई रियलाइज ये तो चल नहीं रहा है मेरे साथ, जम भी नहीं रहा और चल भी नहीं रहा. आफ्टर हीलिंग आई फील मेरे पास आंसर्स भी बेटर है, बिकॉज माई स्ट्रेंथ इज कमिंग फ्रॉम विद इन मी, not from anybody outside me. So when my son feels little low about that there are rest of the dads and his dad is not there, I don't feel offended, and I tell him very nicely that your father is there, right? Your biological father is there, and you know what profession he is in. So you can share with anybody everything, that you have a dad, and yes, my parents have, they are like separated, but I meet my father, he is in this profession. So I think from that nuclear family funda to being a single parent, we call ourselves a micro family. So I had to explain my son what does a micro family means. It's a better word for a single parent, or when kids go through some emotional factors. So yeah,
Yeah.
but I started meeting people. So where the ecosystem ka baat aa raha hai, we have a huge friend circle which never let us be alone. And my son also have so many friends, of different age groups and all. Everywhere we go, we meet different people. So I think when you want to be out of the survival mode, and you have that zeal inside you that you want to do something better. ठीक है, मेरा ड्रीम, अब वो ड्रीम के साथ तो मैं क्या करूं, कुछ भी कर लूं, वो बन नहीं सकता, बिकॉज one person has walked out on me. So what to do? So I and my son is left. So I wanted not to get shattered, and I've been there. क्योंकि 2 साल तो हम कोविड में ऐसे बंद थे. सो वो 2 साल मैंने अपने आप को ये समझाया था, बट कोविड में, कि इसके बाद मेरे से ये नहीं हो रहा, बट आई विल स्टार्ट आस्किंग फॉर हेल्प from whatever places. Even I have to go to a psychiatrist or whatever, because I was so jumbled in my thoughts. And then these God listens to your prayer, I believe a lot. And so Akarma and Anamika's group came. I don't know from where my prayers were heard, and I took a clarity call. And on the clarity call, 1.5 hours, I guess, I was on. Blah, blah, blah. मुझे ये होता है, मेरे साथ ऐसे हुआ, मुझे वैसे हुआ. And then the Karma and Anamika just talked and they just were like bang on my issues. And I started working. Then I told them even that I don't have a finances like that, that I can take a coaching. But their e-learning journeys helped me a lot and I'm still doing it. So when you heal yourself, there is a very better and a good chance that you will be able to create a very good ecosystem without being reliant on anybody. Thank you so
Wow,
much.
Seema.
Just wanted to share this.
Thank you, Seema.
Seema, thank you so much for sharing so many things, and it's so beautiful to see you after how you were some time ago and how you are now. So it's like अभी हम लोग को खुद को लगता है ना, I am myself a single parent. I am going through my own journey. I have my own challenges, and when I see you guys working on yourself consistently, regularly, and you have always consistently talked on all the calls, you attend all our calls, so it really makes a lot of difference and I can see that change. So Divya, for you I would like to tell you that we are all human beings, we go through a lot of things in life, we are here to evolve. So first step, go for your healing, do things for yourself, because a happy mother will have a happy child. So if you are happy, if you are healed from within, things will change for you. And believe me, you can be see Seema. There are a lot of examples I can give you right now, but also take one step at a time. Work upon yourself, contemplate on whatever you are feeling, whatever wherever you are getting stuck, and we are always there here to help you out. So yeah, that's what I would like to tell you, Divya.
Yes, sure. Thank you, Vanshika. Thank you, Anamika.
Most welcome. Anybody else who would like to share their experiences? Okay, I would share certain points and what I feel about this. So first of all, when it comes to guilt, like Anamika said, we need to understand that guilt is coming. Is it coming from our conditioning, our belief system, or is it coming from our own unrealistic expectations that we have for ourselves as well as others? Other thing is, we always, as human beings, as a person, we always dreamt of having this beautiful image of a family, of a ecosystem, like Divya was talking about. So therein, like as Seema said, there have been researches about like there are a lot of other kinds of family systems uh, that are coming up, like there are single parent families, there are same sex families. So we need to understand that family is not only about blood relations, it is much more, much beyond that. So we need to accept these new things, new situations, and create a beautiful ecosystem for ourselves. Divya, you were talking about the ecosystem. So I have been a part of a beautiful single parent community myself, and it's been more than a year for me since I have been into that group. And believe me, it's such a beautiful community where we are meeting each other, we are building up uh, not only online but it's like offline, we are building up a community together as single parents. There's children, they are playing together, so these kind of things are happening. And you can always DM me if you want to join that group. It's a beautiful group. And also हम लोग को ये feel होता है ना, the feeling of missing out, feeling lonely, because जो पहले हमारे फ्रेंड्स होंगे, जो जब हम लोग हमारी मैरिज हुई उस टाइम के जो फ्रेंड्स थे वो टाइम अलग था. Those people are different now, they won't be able to understand our challenges. So you, when you feel these kind of things, you feel left out. तो ऐसी सपोर्ट सिस्टम, ऐसा कम्युनिटी बहुत जरूरी होता है हमारे लिए. इफ यू ज्वाइन द कम्युनिटी, you interact with so many people, you understand that you are not alone in this journey. There are single dads that I know, they are beautifully bringing up their children all alone. And also sometimes क्या होता है ना, ये पूरा जो डिवोर्स केस है, ये जो कोर्ट हियरिंग्स होती है, इसमें हम लोग वी मेक इट a big issue out of it, and we have that ego clashes going on, because it becomes a fight between both the partners ego, and we don't think about our own children. As a parent, what is the most important thing for our child? That we give them a beautiful environment. If possible, अगर कुछ केसेस में ऐसा होता है जहाँ पे को पेरेंटिंग नहीं वर्क करता है, इट्स ओके। आपने ट्राई किया, नहीं वर्क किया, इट्स ओके, यू आर डूइंग योर बेस्ट। डोंट बी सो हार्ड अपॉन योर सेल्फ। ये गिल्ट, इसीलिए हम लोग को हर चीज में ऐसा गिल्ट होता है कि अरे ये मेरी वजह से हुआ, मैं उसको ऐसा एनवायरनमेंट नहीं दे पाई। बट एज अ पेरेंट वी नो, हम कोई भी पेरेंट अपने बच्चे को कोई भी तरह का नुकसान नहीं देना चाहेगा। उसके हिसाब से जो उसकी कैपेसिटी है, उसकी जो सिचुएशन है, उसमें वो बेस्ट वर्क करता है अपने बच्चे के लिए। सो डोंट बी सो हार्ड ऑन योर सेल्फ, do things for yourself as well. It's really, really important. Another thing is, like, as a single parent, there is too much of responsibilities on ourselves, on a single parent, whether it's a single mother or a single father. So it's really important to understand that, as a parent, can you work, अपना वर्क और लाइफ को आप कैसे बैलेंस कर सकते हो? आर देयर पीपल दैट यू कैन टेक हेल्प ऑफ? बिकॉज लॉट ऑफ टाइम्स एज सिंगल पेरेंट्स हमको बहुत डर रहता है, फियर रहता है कि पता नहीं अगर मैं किसी से हेल्प मांगूंगी तो लोग 10 सवाल करेंगे, मुझे नहीं जवाब देना। वी अवॉइड getting help from people, and there are people who genuinely want to help us, but we don't accept it because we have our own fears, we have our own doubts. But if you know that there is a person out there who really, really wants to help you, then please take that help. Don't hesitate. So that's what another thing I want to tell you. I know single parents there are two single mothers who are raising their children together. They are living in a family. Such a beautiful thing to see. So we need to accept, be open to things that are coming to us. अगर हम लोग ओपन नहीं रहेंगे तो कैसे वो एक्सेप्टेंस ही नहीं आएगा, तो आपको सॉल्यूशन भी नहीं मिलेगा। यू विल कीप ब्रूडिंग अपॉन थिंग्स, यू विल कीप कंप्लेनिंग। सो especially when it comes to your children, you would always want कि I want to give them the best I can. अभी जो मेरी सिचुएशन है, करंट सिचुएशन है, उसमें मैं कैसे बेस्ट अपना वर्कआउट कर सकती हूँ, अपने बच्चे को कैसे सब चीजें प्रोवाइड कर सकती हूँ। सो इफ यू हैव टू मच वर्क अपॉन योर सेल्फ, यू कैन इवन थिंक ऑफ, rather than doing 2-3 jobs and getting burned out, it's better always to take help. आपके नेबर्स है या कोई भी है, उनसे हेल्प ले सकते हो, या फ्रीलांसिंग का भी आप सोच सकते हो साइड में। सो देयर आर लॉट ऑफ थिंग्स दैट यू कैन थिंक अबाउट, बट फॉर दैट टू हैपन यू नीड टू फर्स्ट heal on a level. Another thing is that during the visitation, अगर आपने visitation rights दिया है दूसरे partner को, या even if you are co-parenting, I have heard a lot of single parents saying कि when my ex is coming to visit my child, I feel angry, I feel frustrated, मुझे jealous फील होता है कि हाँ वो तो सब अच्छा अच्छा गिफ्ट्स लेके आएंगे, एंड देन ही विल वो उसको पटा लेंगे, उसको मैनिपुलेट करके बोलेंगे कि आई एम बेटर पेरेंट एंड ऑल दैट थिंग्स. सो one of the most important thing where I need to tell you is that visitation rights के time, if possible अपने lawyer से बात करो and tell them that one of the family member has to be present while the other partner is coming to visit the child. Another thing is, don't make everything about yourself. It's about the child. Ultimately, you want that your child and the other parent have a beautiful bond together. That is why we give visitation rights, right? वही जो Divya was talking about that guilt की मैं उसको एक ecosystem नहीं दे पाई. So don't make everything so personal and about yourself, but think more in terms of your child. What is your child? Is your child happy meeting the other parent? Is he happy? If it's not affecting him or her in a unhealthy manner, then why not go for the visitation rights? And you can spend time with your child in your own ways. So as both people are different, so one partner may spend time with the child in a different way. You will spend time with your child in a different way. So respect that and accept it gracefully. Another one very important thing is about dating. I wanted to talk about. As a single parent, ये बहुत एक बड़ा गिल्ट होता है. गिल्ट है, फियर भी होता है कि एक failed marriage हो गई. So you have that kind of fear of, you know, not going into that dating game again. You don't want to meet people. So first, very important thing is to heal yourself. Heal yourself. जो भी past में हुआ है, first heal yourself and then go for dating. Also, when you're going for dating, you need to consider certain things. That is your child very young? Is your child older enough, or is he a teenager? Are you able to discuss these kind of things with your child? And we have a lot of fears related to dating in terms of, especially जब India में there are cases going on and on for longer period of time. So बहुत सारे ifs and buts होते हैं कि अगर मैं dating करूंगी तो you know my ex will come to know and he will claim custody of the child. I have been hearing these kind of things from other single parents that these people had these kind of fears, and because of that they, you know, they wanted to meet people, they wanted to make friends, but they were not able to. Why? Because of that kind of fear. So don't stay in that emotion of fear. I would say talk it out, talk to your lawyer about it. I for myself, I have this fear that okay, मेरा divorce case चल रहा है, so अब I cannot make new friends, I cannot meet new people. If I want to date, I cannot date. No, this is a wrong misconception. You can date. You have your own life, especially when both of you, both the partners have decided that we have to go our own ways, we have to part our ways. Then और ये चीज अपने लिए नहीं, अपने पार्टनर के लिए भी एक्सेप्टेंस आना चाहिए कि इफ यू वांट टू डेट देन इवन ही वुड लाइक टू डेट. सो एक्सेप्ट दैट. Unless and until it is not harming your child in an unhealthy way, you should not think about कि नहीं अब मुझे अकेले ही रहना पड़ेगा लाइफ टाइम. ये एक बहुत बड़ा fear I have observed with other single parents. Another thing is we are talking about the financial things, that obviously when it comes to single parenting, especially if you are living alone. For example, if I talk about myself, I am living with my parents. So अभी तक मुझे financially इतना सोचना नहीं पड़ा है. But at the same time, it's not that I'm sitting at home and I'm not doing anything. You do your part, no problem with that. Go ahead. But at the same time, look for other options as well. फाइनेंशियली आप कैसे अपना बजट, मंथली बजट बनाओ, आप कैसे अपने फाइनेंसेस को हैंडल करते हो, कोई आप एक्सपर्ट है जिससे आप बात कर सकते हो. स्टार्ट प्लानिंग जितना जल्दी हो सके उतना जल्दी. सो एंड ऑल्सो वी हैव दिस गिल्ट, यू नो, कि ये सिंगल पेरेंट है, so we'll always be poor or we'll not be able to provide our children with a lot of luxuries. No, that's not true. This is our own belief. We can do anything that we want if we work upon things properly. Think about it. आप कैसे अपने finances को अच्छे से manage कर सकते हैं. And as far as I have observed and talked with so many other single parents, what I feel is कि बच्चे को हमेशा सिर्फ gifts नहीं चाहिए होते हैं, उसको महंगे महंगे कपड़े नहीं चाहिए, उसको आपका प्यार चाहिए. आपका you need to be your true self with your child. Like Seema said, be vulnerable, share with your children, talk to them. And things do change, because even for myself, I have tried doing this. When you hide things, children do come to know. They very well understand. They can sense your emotions. वो बोलते हैं ना, छोटे बच्चे भगवान का रूप होते हैं. My daughter, she is just 4 years old. And you know, when I'm upset, she will ask me, Mama, what happened? Mama, आपका face ऐसे क्यों है? You know, she will ask me a lot of questions. And I don't hide it from her. I tell her whatever it is. Yeah, यहाँ पे हमें ये सोचना पड़ेगा कि we need to talk to our child in an age appropriate way. जो भी उसकी एज है उस हिसाब से जो बच्चे को उस लेवल पे समझ में आता है आप उसको वैसे समझाइए. बट द मोर यू स्पेंड टाइम विद योर चाइल्ड, and not quantity time. Quantity time is not important. There are single parents who come and complain to me that, you know, my child does not talk to me, वो बाहर चला जाता है. especially when they grow older, when they are in a teenage period. तो आई ऑलवेज आस्क देम कि आपने कभी भी, भले ही आपके पास 2 घंटे क्यों ना हो, आप कभी भी अपने बच्चे के साथ पूरी तरह इन्वॉल्व होते हैं? बिकॉज आई हैव सीन पेरेंट्स, वी आर सो मच इनटू द सोशल मीडिया, फोन्स, नेटफ्लिक्स एंड ऑल दैट, कि अगर बच्चा हमारे साथ है भी ना तो वी विल कीप ब्राउजिंग सोशल मीडिया ऑन फोन, या हम लोग कुछ ना कुछ करते रहते हैं. सो नो, वो एक गिल्ट बहुत बड़ा होता है पेरेंट्स का, कि मैंने बच्चे के साथ टाइम स्पेंड नहीं कर पाती हूँ, मैं इतना ज्यादा, अगर मैं डबल ड्यूटी कर रही हूँ, मेरी दो दो जॉब्स हैं, तो मैं क्या करूँ? द बेस्ट थिंग इज टू डू एट दैट टाइम इज, भले ही आप 1 घंटा स्पेंड करो, बट डू थिंग्स दैट यू लव, दैट योर चाइल्ड लव्स. मेक कम टू अ कॉमन पॉइंट कि अगर आपको जैसे पेंटिंग पसंद है, आपके बच्चे को भी पेंटिंग पसंद है, तो आप दोनों मिलके पेंटिंग करो. And it's really fun to give that kind of a time. Even sometimes बच्चों को सिर्फ आपका प्रेजेंस भी, आपका पूरा प्रेजेंस जरूरी होता है. ये नहीं कि अच्छा आप बैठे हो बट आप फोन में लगे हुए हो. तो वो आई टू आई कांटेक्ट होना बहुत जरूरी है. आपका बॉडी लैंग्वेज कैसा है, बच्चे के साथ पूरी तरह से इन्वॉल्व नहीं होते हो, बट अगर बच्चा आपको कुछ पूछ रहा है, मम्मा देखो मैंने कितनी अच्छी पेंटिंग बनाई है, वी हार्डली रिस्पॉन्ड बिकॉज वी आर ब्राउजिंग ऑन आवर फोन्स. So if you want, you have to just spend good quality time with your children. And I'm sure that जब बच्चों को हम क्वालिटी टाइम देते हैं ना, उनको ये सब मैटर नहीं करता, मम्मा मेरे लिए कितना गिफ्ट लेके आए, आप मेरे लिए न्यू कपड़े लेके आए कि नहीं. इसीलिए डोंट थिंक कि हमेशा, अच्छा सिंगल पेरेंट होगा तो मैं कभी भी लाइफ में आगे नहीं बढ़ पाऊंगी, या मैं हमेशा एक लेवल पे ही रहूंगी. नहीं, दिस इज अनहेल्दी पैटर्न ऑफ बिलीफ. So that's what I wanted to say. Another very important thing is that, like I talked about the emotions, आपके emotions और बच्चे की emotions दोनों बहुत important है to express. Giving yourself that kind of outlet and giving the child that kind of an outlet, जहाँ पे बच्चा भी express कर पाए. कई बार हम लोग ना बहुत वो हो जाते हैं, अगर बच्चा गुस्सा हो रहा है, उसको गुस्सा आ रहा है, तो we'll say stop crying, stop getting angry. No, don't do that. A child needs that kind of an outlet. Suppressing your emotions will never work, because ultimately कभी ना कभी फिर वो diseases के फॉर्म में बाहर आते हैं. I remember I had so many migraine attacks. मुझे पहले बहुत migraine के issues रहते थे, but then when I started talking to people, I started expressing what I really felt. It really made a hell lot of difference in my uh, approach as a person, in talking with my child. Also, जब हमको समझ में आता है ना, awareness आता है कि okay, this is the kind of emotion that I'm going through. Now what? Don't suppress it. Just observe that emotion. Take a pause. Take a deep breath and observe that emotion. What is it trying to tell you? Then contemplate on it. Don't avoid it, because वो आप जितना उसको पीछे पीछे, वो बोलते हैं ना, स्प्रिंग को जितना दबाओगे वो उतना ही जोर से उछल के आपके ऊपर ही आएगा. सो ऑलवेज ट्राई टू वर्क अपॉन योर इमोशंस. एक्सप्रेस करो बच्चों के साथ अपना वो एक इमोशनल आउटलेट बना के रखो. एंड यू नो, believe me, it's a beautiful thing to observe when your children are sharing so many things with you. Because I have been always very clear about a thing that कि मुझे मेरी डॉटर के साथ जो भी है ना, आई विल शेयर विद हर, आई विल नॉट हाइड. एंड यू नो समथिंग, बिकॉज ऑफ दैट थिंग माई डॉटर कम्स एंड शेयर्स विद मी एवरीथिंग. एंड वो जो एक फीलिंग होती है ना, जब आपका बच्चा आपके पास आके सब कुछ शेयर करता है, इट्स वेरी डिफरेंट फीलिंग एंड इट्स अ ब्यूटिफुल फीलिंग. इवन इफ शी इज अपसेट विद यू, इवन एनीथिंग फॉर दैट मैटर, बट वो एक बॉन्ड जो आप डेवलप करते हो ना, वो आपको आगे बहुत काम आएगा. And yeah, the last thing is, just let your guilt go. If you are stuck in this guilt for a longer period of time, you will not be able to come out of it. If you feel कि I'm stuck somewhere, please take help of a professional. It's really important. I won't say कि अगर आपके कोई family members है, उनसे help लो, बात करो, but they will not be able to help you professionally because they are not trained that way. बहुत बारी हम लोग ये गलती करते हैं कि हम लोग पेरेंट्स के पास चले जाते हैं, सिबलिंग्स के पास, रिलेटिव्स के पास, बट वो हमको they are not trained and they will not understand what you are exactly going through. So be it whosoever, if you want to go to a therapist or a counselor, please do जितना जल्दी आप अपने आप को हील करोगे ना, उतना जल्दी आप अपना एनवायरनमेंट अच्छा कर पाओगे. बिकॉज व्हेन यू आर हैप्पी, यू आर एबल टू कीप अदर्स आल्सो हैप्पी, योर चाइल्ड विल बी हैप्पी. अल्टीमेटली पेरेंट्स को क्या चाहिए? बच्चा खुश रहे, उसको संतुष्टि रहे मन में कि हाँ, मुझे जो भी एनवायरनमेंट में मिला है, जो भी है, आई एम हैप्पी विद माय मम्मा और आई एम हैप्पी विद माय फादर. So these were very some important pointers that I wanted to pointed it out, and I would like अभी और किसी को कुछ add on करना है, anything wants to ask something, किसी को कुछ पूछना है?
So thanks for
One,
the very comprehensive explanation, Vanshika. Thank you so much. Yeah, I
Yeah,
think you made me actually think to each point you said, I was relating it in my mind. Okay, this direction. And everything made so much of sense. Thank you, Vanshika, again. Yeah.
most welcome, Divya. I'm glad that you could relate to it, and I'm sure that you'll work upon these things. Take your time, I would say.
okay, Vanshika, can I ask something?
Yeah, go ahead.
On the topic of co-parenting, as you were discussing just now, so I remember a few days back there was a discussion going on the single parent group which you talked about, and of which I'm also part of. So वहाँ पे बोला गया था कि co-parenting is an equal right for the other parent as well. And okay, I agree with this statement, but what happens when I know that the other person or the other parent will not be, interested or will not be consistent enough to co-parent. So in that case, do you think it is like wise to, expose or breach this topic at this stage, or should I wait for my kid to grow up a little and express his own desire to see his father? Means just for the sake कि co-parenting होनी चाहिए, should I keep this point in front of my soon to be ex-spouse? What do you think, or what do others think? I would want to know.
Yeah, so here there are many things that we need to understand. First and foremost, the most important thing is ki now that you and your partner have decided to go on separate ways, have you discussed with your partner about co-parenting? What was his reaction? What does he think about co-parenting? So वो एक चीज हमको पहले देखनी पड़ेगी. दूसरी चीज, if you are saying that the other parent would not be available, or he is not responsible, or he won't be able to take up this co-parenting thing, then I feel कि it is not necessary, it is not a given that co-parenting करना ही चाहिए. Every couple's situation is different. So for in my case, my ex has never shown any kind of interest for his daughter. He only keeps sending gifts, and he will message anytime that I want to talk with her. But otherwise, apart from that, he has never taken any responsibility, and he was abusive. So for me, I know that this is going to be, in fact, and the other way around if I go for co-parenting. So I decided for going on for the visitation right, because at the same time I also understand that child need child may want to meet his or her father or mother. So the other thing is कि the age of child is also very very important. So जब बच्चा अगर बहुत छोटा है, first 5 years for a child are very very crucial. So there you need to understand and think, contemplate on that. Okay, if I go for co-parenting, what will it affect my child in a more unhealthy way? What if I go for the visitation rights? वो ठीक है, वो चलेगा, वो ज़्यादा better option है if the child is young. So that's what I had decided for my child, that I will go for the visitation rights and one of the family member would be present. So no problem. I don't have a problem with that. Also talk with your lawyer, which is a better option, because my lawyer told me that going for a visitation right would be a better option, because in my case, my ex was very, very abusive. सो ऑल्सो क्या होता है कई बारी, आई थिंक सीमा की केस में हुआ था, सीमा शी वॉज को पेरेंटिंग पहले, बट देन बिकॉज द चाइल्ड वॉज गेटिंग अफेक्टेड इन अ अनहेल्दी वे शी स्टॉप्ड को पेरेंटिंग. सो जब बच्चा बड़ा होता है देन आई थिंक यू शुड गिव हिम और हर दैट काइंड ऑफ option, that kind of choice to choose for themselves whether they want to meet the other parent or not. I hope I am clear. I would able to, I was able
Yes,
to
yes.
answer your question.
Yes, yes. You were very like clear on this, Vanshika, because like you said that we need to weigh pros and cons. Ki co-parenting, whether it is going to be, you know, like affecting the child in an unhealthy way. And in my situation also, my partner was never, responsible for my kid, and it's been more than a year since we are separated, and he has never bothered to show any interest or nothing at all. From his side, it's absolutely zero. So that is what was weighing upon me ki when this is the case, should I, even broach the topic of co-parenting with him? And yeah, I know, I mean, right now at this point, as you said, I think it's better to, provide the visitation rights on the paper and keep this topic open for my son when he is a bit, grown up. And if he decides to like really be in contact with his father, so that would be his call. So yeah,
Yeah,
that's
absolutely. Yeah, Seema, go ahead.
So just wanted to share about the co-parenting, and actually what happened was that when our separation started, I never have thought about the co-parenting till there was a like a court case that started, and then also I was not thinking about co-parenting, or actually not thinking about you have to give the visitation or something. That was not there only in my mind. And then it started like my lawyer started telling me that are you open for the visitation, he will be asking for it. Maybe he is not interested in the custody, but he will be asking. So I said that, yeah, because moment he left the house, the 2 years COVID ke baad, he started meeting my son, and that was only in our premises. And I never stopped him, whatever my and his issues. I just told him one statement that, listen, you have to be like, very humble and patient around him, because you are not staying with us now. So yeah, he started coming, and he used to visit every Saturdays to us, or maybe on Sundays. We have done the lunches also together. And believe me when I say it, it was very difficult to sit with a person you don't want to look at him. But when you look the smile on your child, and when you see him happy, because I think when the courts and most of the people say that you have to consider about the well-being of the child. Now this has two parts. Most of the times courts also say well-being, but they actually coming out of one party's, which is the father or the mother, that they are willing to be very justified that, yeah, the father mother should visit and all. But nobody is actually looking at the well-being of the child. So it's coming more of the well-being of your own self, not about the child. So I used to see my son so happy, and then one fine day, some clashes happened, and this person is very egoistic, so he stopped coming. So from that time to at least a year's time, uh, my son used to talk, still talks to me, but something was happening inside, and I can make it out because I'm his mother. But he was not opening up to me, because maybe my son started feeling that mom is already so much stressed. Why should I give her more stress? So I used to try to talk to him, but not opening. Then the outburst used to happen, and then the actual thing used to come out. Then I realized one thing in all of this process, that what is the most important thing is, it's not difficult to give another person the partner with whom my relationship did not work. Doesn't mean that he will not be a good father also, or a mother. But what really was actually coming from where it was coming. It was coming out of a fair, and knowingly, unknowingly, I've been to many parts of groups, and over there, co-parenting gets discussed. Many people say it's good. Many will say no, no, he will poison your son, your daughter. Don't do that stupidity once the person is gone. So I realized this is not my fear even. ये तो मेरा डर है ही नहीं एक्चुअली में मुझे तो कोई डर ही नहीं है it is coming all from whatever I have picked up unknowingly. And then I realized, oh, okay. So that was like a wake up call to me. And I went for 3 days silence. I was like, what? Really? And I'm like getting so bugged up with this nonsense in my mind that, oh, ऐसा ही होगा मेरे बेटे को भी वो भड़का के लेके जाएगा. But maybe, that was when the person is doing, I'm not justifying him. Maybe he's doing it from the guilt of not being there 100%. So maybe he wants to pamper his child, maybe whatever. But at the same time, why I have to be so judgmental and so fearful? Do I don't have faith in my relationship with my son? Do I don't have faith in my love with my son? So answer was yes, I'm not having faith. Why? Because I'm like bothered about the other party. The focus should be me and my son and what making my son happy. So when now also he meets and it's like very on off situation when he travels a lot. So I give him a benefit of doubt. But you know what was happening in this also, my son is going up and down because I am a mature person, my son is not. He is still learning to operate through his emotions, how to express it. So one of the times, the 3 4 days, there was an anger issues, punching me. Matlab, all the anger was coming out. So I just calmly one of the day just asked him, what is it that is troubling you? I know this is not all of it. Something else is bothering you. Then the actual thing came out that because he was anxious about one thing, that was that the court has said that you have to maybe go for vacations and night outs. And he's not okay because he's building a trust. And now the father is a stranger, you know so I immediately understood, and I thank God that I'm able to at least know what is happening inside his heart. And I totally explained him from my ex-husband's side that his job is like that and it's going to be like this. Now what we need to learn here is that if you're not okay, then please tell him. Do convey him that, Papa, I'm not liking it. I miss you a lot. And don't suppress it. And don't be bothered about that mummy doesn't like or Papa doesn't like. What is most important is what you like or what you don't like. So thank God that I'm balanced because of my healing. Because उससे पहले तो मैंने ये सारा nonsense करा है, and I admit that I was very fearful. I have picked up this thing. वो मेरा फेयर भी नहीं था. Then also I picked up and I did not let him meet for so many. बस हमारा ego चल रहा था. For a year it was just an ego. He just left out of anger. उसके बाद मैंने नहीं उससे पूछा. Why should I ask? And I forgot that my son is going through something in all of this. Then I realized, no, this is not going to be like this. I had to, if I'm saying it is about my well being of my son, it has to be. And like I said, I belong to a dysfunctional family. So I know what is emotionally available to your child. And my parents had I've forgiven them and I've loved them and I've been compassionate because now in this age I've realized after healing ki yaar unki galti bhi nahi thi. They were too young. They had 3 kids. They had so much of responsibility. Either they would have feeded us or they would have been sitting with us. But now I have learned from their experience, from that experience. So now I don't want to do that. My son wants both the parents, and it's very difficult, but I'm trying to make it easy, at least from my side, at least. So the beautiful part is I'm able to even tell this to my ex also, and he's also agreed. And I'm thankful to God. So I even realize that sometimes, we take off this image of the other person ki wo to kharab hi rahega. Maybe we didn't were good husband wife, maybe, but why should I doubt his integrity about being a good father? Maybe he'll be a good father, but not a good husband. So that could be in anybody's case. Just wanted to share this. I don't know if it is related to anything. So the guilt used to come in this one complete year where the egos were getting clashed. And I used to be guilty, believe me. Every day I used to cry for 2 3 hours because my ego was not letting me do things. It was more fears, ego. Oh, no, no. Even if I used to dial his number, I used to just delete it. But when I used to look at my son, I wanted to do. But mingling in between of these two, I was like, it's a bad space to be. And I'm very grateful to God and then this team that they came my way and I was able to heal myself because I understand what many people must be thinking, इसमें healing का क्या काम है? Actually, में सारा काम healing का ही है. सारा काम अपने पे ही करना है. There is no others, I believe. So this is what I wanted to
Absolutely,
share.
Seema. Yes, very true.
Well, you've come a long way, Seema. I have just one popping question. What is your son's age? How young is he?
So when he started, all of this started, he was 8, now he's 11.
All right. Yeah. Yeah. So because I could relate to few reactions of his and the kind of situations you're going through. So yeah, quite relative. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah, I think because when we have the single parent community, it does not only help you to discuss about your problems, but maybe when you become friends with somebody, you can openly tell that this is happening about my son. Every time we are not able to go to the trained professionals, but sometimes, it's not hit and try, but sometimes sharing maybe gives you some solutions also. Okay, oh, okay, this is happening, and believe me, I have two friends who are like happily married, and we go to their home, they come to our place. The kids are best friends with my son. So, uh, yes, mostly choose not to be friends, but then you also find people who will welcome you and accept you as you are.
True. Yeah.
Absolutely, Seema, very true. When you find that kind of support system, चाहे वो दो ही members क्यों नहीं हो, but it makes a lot of difference. Yeah, it really does. Thank you so much, Seema, for sharing, and I hope, Dr. Sepi, that you got your answers.
Yeah, yeah, Vanchika, I did get my answer, and all of your inputs were very helpful. And thank you, Seema, for sharing so many experiences of yours. It would really be helpful in deciding. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Anyone else who would like to share something?
Maybe some inputs from Akarma or Anamika.
Yeah, Akarma, would you like to share something?
I was listening to what Seema was saying, and I think she was already answering everything that I wanted to say. So, yeah, now, I mean, as she said that whatever she said, uh, you know, uh, sometimes it sounds common sense, but then we are not able to do it. And we don't know कि इसमें healing क्या है. तो इसका सिंपल आंसर अगर मैं बहुत ही सिंपल टर्म्स में दूं ना तो हीलिंग यही है कि क्या आप आज की डेट में एनीबडी ऑन दिस कॉल who's going through this, क्या आप आज की डेट में अपने पार्टनर अपने हस्बैंड या वाइफ को उस नजर से देख सकते हो जिस नजर से सीमा इज टॉकिंग अबाउट? if you if your answer is yes, then good, then that's brilliant, that's perfect. If your answer is no and your still question is कि इसमें healing क्या है, तो यही है, is for you to come to that point जहाँ पे अपना तो हमको दिख रहा है, but can you also answer the same question so compassionately from your partner's, from your husband or wife's point of view, by overlooking everything that they have done, overlooking everything and saying ki, ha, but they still perhaps miss the child. They still perhaps, even if they are not talking to them and you're saying कि एक साल से नहीं बात की है, ये नहीं किया, वो नहीं किया, can you still see a compassion in there and say कि let me figure out why? But can you go with that kind of compassion? Can you gather that kind of courage and have that kind of conversation and do that? If your answer is no, that is where healing comes into picture. यही है इसका आंसर, यही आपका मेजरिंग स्टिक है। अगर ये इस पे आप खरे उतर रहे हो तो ऑल गुड, अगर नहीं उतर रहे हो तो दिस इज वेयर इट इज। बट चॉइस इज योर्स, whether you want to go through that journey or not, that's your choice. That's not the call that we can make. But as a professional, sometimes, you know, I was listening to this call, and sometimes it sounds like कि मैं पूछ तो कुछ और रही थी, आंसर तो कुछ और आ रहा है। हाँ, ऐसा लग सकता है डेफिनेटली, क्योंकि अंडरस्टैंड कि हम लोग ये इतने दिनों से ये चीजें कर रहे हैं कि we can perhaps see even the question that you're not even asking right now. तो ऐसा कई बार लग सकता है कि पर मैं तो ये नहीं पूछ रही थी, मैं तो, मेरा तो ये पॉइंट ही नहीं था, मेरा तो पॉइंट ये था। और ऐसा लग सकता है कि हम तो कोई और ही आंसर दे रहे हैं, ऐसा लग सकता है, डेफिनेटली लग सकता है। तो इसका यही है कि क्योंकि these are the conversations that we have daily with people, and we see कि यहीं पे लोग आके अटकते हैं, क्योंकि हमको सिर्फ सरफेस लेवल की प्रॉब्लम्स ही दिख रही होती हैं और हम सरफेस लेवल की प्रॉब्लम्स के ही आंसर ढूंढ रहे होते हैं, पर एक्चुअली आंसर्स वहां होते ही नहीं है। वो एक टेम्पररी सोल्यूशन और मैनेजमेंट है। वो ऐसा होता है कि हमें कोई बीमारी है और हम इस बीमारी को पालना सीख गए हैं, और हमारी अप्रोच नामीफा में हमेशा यही होती है कि बीमारी को पालना क्यों है? Why do you want to learn to manage things? Why don't you want to get rid of it? Why don't you want to go to the core and solve it? पालना क्यों है आपको इसको? कुछ चीजें हैं जो obviously they can only be managed. I don't disagree with that. कि some things are uncurable. Definitely, there are things like that. But most things are not. Most things are not to be managed. They need to be dealt with and fixed. So this is whatever Seema is sharing is coming from that space कि आज अगर वो ये सब बातें कर पा रही है और ये सब बोल पा रही है, इस तरह से देख पा रही है कि इवन इफ माय हस्बैंड हम दोनों में नहीं बनी तो वो तो अच्छे फादर हो सकते हैं, ऑल दैट, एंड मे बी सम ऑफ यू ऑन द कॉल विल आल्सो रेजोनेट विद दैट, दैट्स फाइन। मन में ये रेजोनेट करना एक बात होती है, बट एक्चुअली में उसको एक्शन में लाना और उस चीज को इम्प्लीमेंट करना, वो बात है कि आप कर पा रहे हो, वो क्वेश्चन है। ये नहीं है कि हाँ मैं भी ऐसा ही सोचती हूँ, सोचने से कुछ नहीं होता है। सोचते आप होगे, अच्छा आई एम श्योर, पर एक्शन में तो नहीं ला पा रहे हो ना। एक्शन में लाने में तो हिचकिचाहट आ रही है ना, रेजिस्टेंस आ रही है, डर आ रहा है, ईगो आ रहा है, वट एवर इज कमिंग। सोच से क्या होता है? सोच तो सबकी अच्छी होती है, पर सोचने से थोड़ी ट्रांसफॉर्मेशन आती है। ट्रांसफॉर्मेशन तो एक्शंस लेने से ही आती है, और एक्शंस क्यों नहीं ले पाते हैं हम? क्योंकि हम अभी उभरे नहीं है उन चीजों से, निकले नहीं है बाहर, हिल नहीं हुए हैं। तो सिर्फ सोच तक रह जाने तक मत रहो कि हाँ मैं भी ऐसा ही सोचती हूँ, मैं भी ऐसा ही सोचता हूँ। मेजरमेंट क्राइटेरिया इज क्या आप वो कर पा रहे हो इस समय, क्या कर सकते हो, क्या किया है। और अगर वो नहीं हो रहा है, अगर वो आपको लग रहा है कि नहीं नहीं कर तो नहीं पाओगे, नहीं आई कांट, देन दैट इज वेयर द हीलिंग इज रिक्वायर्ड।
So very well put, Akarma. I was thinking about my own things that I was doing 1 year back. वही ego, वही anger, and now like we are trying to do things mutually. We have accepted things, और सबसे important होता है वो ना, पैसे को लेके तो ऐसी सुई अटकती है ना कि नहीं, मेरे बच्ची के लिए मैंने मांगा है, इसको इतना तो देना ही पड़ेगा। मतलब people spend so much of time and energy into these kind of things, और कुछ नहीं निकल के आता है उससे। You are suffering, your child is suffering, but for what? We really need to look deep within ourselves.
एग्जैक्टली। और मैं एक्चुअली परिवार में देख रहा था, तो ये सब एनवायरनमेंट वाली बात हो रही थी, टू सेट अप द एनवायरनमेंट एंड ऑल दैट। सो एनवायरनमेंट भी कोई एक्सटर्नल चीज नहीं है, हम एनवायरनमेंट को एक्सटर्नल की तरह नहीं देख सकते. तो एनवायरनमेंट इंक्लूड्स अस. वी आर द एनवायरनमेंट. देयर इज नो सच थिंग. और कुछ नहीं. हमारी सोच, हमारी थिंकिंग, हमारी वे ऑफ लिविंग, हमारी एनर्जी, how we are dealing with things, how we are behaving, यही है environment. Environment is not functional things outside to give our kids and things, that kind of thing. So kids don't care about all those things. और जो हमको ये लगता है कि let's I think Divya was talking about कि um, I have grown up in a family like this and that. So Divya, you have grown up, you have seen, you know what you are missing or what your kids is missing. Your kid doesn't even know what he is missing. He's not grown up in a joint family. He doesn't know all those things. तो you know this. तो वहां पे आप ये एनवायरनमेंट वो वाला वैसा देना है या वो करना है, ये आपको पता है. योर किड डजंट नो व्हाट ही इज मिसिंग. उसको नहीं मिला कभी भी. तो उसको जो मिल रहा है वो उसमें खुश है नहीं है, उसको देखने की जरूरत है, ना कि क्या उसको मिलना चाहिए था और वो नहीं मिल रहा है. तो वी गो इन गिल्ट एंड वी फील दैट वे. इट्स नॉट गोइंग टू हेल्प द किड. यस, योर हैंड इज अप.
Yeah, so 2 points. I'll start the second point first in response to you, Akarma. Guilt मेरे केस में या तब आता है कि yes, when I am not able to give him the dream life that I had, and when he comes back home saying कि मॉम मुझे अयान और सौरभ के घर पे ज्यादा रहना था, मुझे बहुत अच्छा लगता है उनके घर. आई फील home with them because they have a cat, they have the grandmom, and they have the mother and father. We all played board games together. So when he comes back home, है ना, or when he visits my brother and my bhabhi and my mom, their kids, he comes back. He doesn't want to come back. He says नहीं, मुझे इधर और रहना है, मुझे इधर बहुत homely लग रहा है. So possibly, yeah, maybe you're right. Kids are our reflection only. I'll have to change the way I think, possibly, yeah, and be more proactive as a mother. Possibly. Um, Second one is, correct me if I'm wrong. When Anamika was also mentioning कि money के लिए we spent a lot of energy and all. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong, Anamika Karma, but I've developed this ability to differentiate कि प्रैक्टिकल क्या और इमोशनल क्या है. प्रैक्टिकली बच्चे का जो राइटफुल है जो है, माय हस्बैंड ही हैड ऑल माय सन्स पॉलिसीज एंड इन्वेस्टमेंट्स, वो सब तोड़ दिया फॉर हिज ओन स्टफ, फॉर हिज ओन spendings and all of that. And I'm really hurt about that. We had done it together. It was, of course, under his name, but we had done it together. And where is his policy now? Where is that investment? Where is the bond now? And he said that I've already dissolved all of that. So what I've understood, one day my brother actually he sat with me and he said that Divya, you should live life parallelly, where जो प्रैक्टिकल है तो है, but don't get too rebellious on that. Uh, Stay, what do you call, stabilized. I don't get that word. Stay in equilibrium. उसमें उसको एकदम इमोशनल मत बना. Okay, while you're fighting for his rights in court, and so मैंने देखा है by my court visits, the way I speak to his father, the way I speak to his father's side of family, it's very calm and they are always very thankful for what I had brought to their family. So वो clashes बिल्कुल नहीं है. But everyone knows that what is right is right. So I think, Anamika, if I am able to balance emotionally mm, with him in certain way, not always, but at the same time practically understanding that in today's time, you know, he must get what his rights are. So is that okay, or I should just give up on, yeah, expecting nothing from my husband, anything from my um, Aditya, my son's father. Yeah.
So the answer to the expectations uh, that we often say is कि पहले अगर आपको अगर अपना अटैचमेंट स्टाइल मालूम है कि व्हाट अटैचमेंट स्टाइल यू कम फ्रॉम सो फर्स्ट ब्रिंग योर अवेयरनेस टू योर इनसिक्योर अटैचमेंट स्टाइल एंड 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 वंस यू address that तो जो कुछ सी एक्सपेक्टेशंस आर नॉट बैड एक्सपेक्टेशंस तो हो वो पॉसिबल ही नहीं है हमें बिना एक्सपेक्टेशंस के इस दुनिया में रहना तो वो तो क्वेश्चन ही नहीं है क्वेश्चन ये है कि एक्सपेक्टेशंस किस तरह से होनी चाहिए एंड and when we are coming from a more secure space then we can create more um, balanced expectations that is the space to come in first तो आपका एक क्वेश्चन ये कि मेरे को एक्सपेक्टेशन होनी चाहिए नहीं होनी चाहिए बिना एक्सपेक्टेशन के तो हम फंक्शन ही नहीं कर सकते हैं ये तो क्वेश्चन ही नहीं है ऑफ कोर्स एक्सपेक्टेशंस होनी चाहिए इट इज हेल्दी टू हैव एक्सपेक्टेशंस पर वो एक्सपेक्टेशंस क्या है और वो कहाँ से आ रही है आर दे कमिंग फ्रॉम a more secured state or are they coming more from a hurtful state or a fearful state that is the question if you're aware about it then I would say go ahead and communicate those expectations if you're not aware about it if this itself is a point of doubt तो पहले इसको देख लो पहले इस चीज को देख लो कि ये कहाँ से आ रही है क्यों है ऐसी एक्सपेक्टेशंस
Yeah. Mm,
Akarma, I
yeah.
would like to add something here. Whenever ये जो expectations की बात होती है ना, rights की बात होती है, तो कभी कभी ना being a single parent आपको ना ये बहुत लगता है, you feel that since there is a missing partner, so you have to overdo all the things. You have to do each and everything. So वो state से भी कई बार वो एक expectation, वो unrealistic expectation आ जाती है. दूसरी चीज कि यू शुड ऑल्सो अंडरस्टैंड कि जो जिससे हम मांग रहे हैं उसकी वो कैपेसिटी है देने की वो वो कौन से माइंडसेट से दे रहा है नहीं दे रहा है या जो भी है सो वी नीड टू कंसिडर ऑल्सो दीज काइंड ऑफ थिंग्स बट वेन यू कम फ्रॉम अ सिक्योर अटैचमेंट स्टाइल आई गेस यू फील कि चलो नहीं दे तो भी कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है दे तो भी अच्छी बात है सो इट्स लाइक देर इज एक्सेप्टेंस हो या नहीं हो there comes an inner acceptance for everything that's what मतलब मैंने जो खुद के लिए फील किया है सो आई वांटेड टू शेयर दिस विद दिव्या
Yeah. This makes sense.
yeah I agree
You guys always
I
make me
agree
think so much. Yeah, I always, after our calls, I'm always in deep thoughts and I unveil like so much. Hmm. So maybe, yeah, I'll just try and dig in more today to
वही
see
तो
that.
हमारी कॉल्स का पर्पस है अगर हमारी
Huh?
कॉल्स करने के बाद भी आप डीप थॉट्स में नहीं जा रहे तो फिर व्हाट अ वेस्टफुल टाइम फॉर यू कि आप
Hmm.
वही तो लेके आए थे वही लेके जा रहे हो तो आपका तो टाइम वेस्ट ही हो गया ना
नहीं नहीं सही बात है नहीं आई मीन आई एम थैंकफुल व्हेन आई से दैट एंड आई एम जस्ट थिंकिंग टुडे कि मैं वही सोचूंगी कि वेयर इज इट कमिंग फ्रॉम इज इट कमिंग फ्रॉम अ हर्ट और या
हाँ हाँ पहले अपने एक्सपेक्टेशंस को चेक कर लो क्योंकि यही सी इवन आस्किंग दोज क्वेश्चंस कॉन्टेम्पलेटिंग ऑल दिस इज हीलिंग ये हीलिंग का मतलब आप ये ऐसा नहीं है कि आपको कोई अगरबत्ती जला के पीपल के पेड़ के नीचे बैठना है और कुछ ये करना है दैट्स नॉट यही है यही राइट आस्किंग द राइट क्वेश्चन इन द राइट मोमेंट टू इंट्रोस्पेक्ट कि ऐसा क्यों है व्हाई आई एम रिएक्टिंग लाइक दिस व्हाई आई एम एक्सपेक्टिंग दिस नॉट कि आई शुडंट एक्सपेक्ट नो नॉट आई एम नॉट सेइंग आस्क योर क्वेश्चन कि व्हाई आई एम एक्सपेक्टिंग दिस like is this healthy is this coming from a healthy state or not बिना एक्सपेक्टेशन के तो इम्पॉसिबल है इस धरती पे रहना वो तो गिवन है हम सबकी एक्सपेक्टेशन है एक दूसरे से पर वो किस स्टेट से आ रही है व्हाट फ्रेम ऑफ माइंड इट इज कमिंग फ्रॉम that we need to continuously keep going.
Yeah.
Anyone has anything else to share? I think Akarma, then we should wrap up the call. It's like, wow, it's been an amazing call today and listening to so many people here and sharing experiences. It's been an amazing call. Should we wrap up, guys?
Yeah. और कोई क्वेश्चन नहीं है तो
हाँ, yeah.
Yeah, we can.
Okay. Thank you all for
okay,
joining today.
thanks everyone. Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you again, Namita.
Great. Bye.
Thank you, guys. Have a great evening. Bye bye.
Yeah, bye.